A very good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for being here this morning. With gratitude to the Almighty for stopping the rains for this morning, I will present my welcome address and the annual report. All the students, I request you to kindly take your seats. All right. Honorable Mr. Justice T. Raja, Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court and Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu National Law University. Honorable Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice of the Orissa High Court and the Chief Guest for the convocation today. Respected members of the General Council, Executive Council, Academic Council, Finance Committee of the University, respected Principal District Judge, and other judges of the Trichy District, other dignitaries, as well as the graduates who are the guests of honor today, their parents and other relatives, my dear colleagues both in the teaching and the non-teaching part of the university, and the students of the Tamil Nadu National Law University. It is indeed a privilege and it gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to this, the fourth convocation of the university and the first one on campus since 2019. And I'm so glad that today we also have the members of the press with us here. We have been receiving quite a bit of publicity in the recent past, and hopefully this publicity will work towards the advancement of the reputation of the university. I thank you very much for having accepted our invitation and being here this morning. It is such a joy to be able to see and greet all of you here physically, even as this event is being live streamed for all those who could not make it to the Tamil Nadu National Law University today. I welcome our Honorable Chancellor to the Tamil Nadu National Law University. I thank you, sir, for having made time to be able to preside over the convocation and give away the certificates. It is very kind of you, sir. I welcome our chief guest, the Honorable Dr. Justice Muralidhar, to our campus and to this convocation. I cannot tell you how grateful I am to you for having accepted our invitation to deliver this convocation address and to apologize to you for all the inconvenience we have caused you during this last few months. You've been so supportive through this entire period, and I want to thank you on behalf of the entire TNNLU community for being present here today to deliver the convocation address. I welcome all the members of the governing bodies of the university who've made it convenient to travel all the way from Chennai to Trichy during a time like this when there are such heavy rains. They are here in person and also online in order to complete the procedure necessary for the conferment of the degrees this morning. I welcome the Principal District Judge, the Chief Judicial Magistrate, other judges of the District of Trichy, other dignitaries like our Superintendent of Police, as well as others who have responded positively to our invitation to be here for this convocation. A special word of welcome to the graduating students of the batch of 2022. Without you, there'll be no convocation. Thank you for being such an understanding bunch of graduates, patiently putting up with the postponement of the convocation without even a whisper of protest. I really appreciate that. I don't know how to thank you for this. I'm so glad that all of us could make it to this convocation right here on campus after 2 years of being and meeting only online. A heartfelt welcome to the parents and other relatives of the graduating students who have been so supportive in spite of all the inconvenience that they have been put through and making it to this convocation in order to make it a grand success. My heartfelt greetings to my colleagues, both in the teaching and in the administration, whose tireless efforts night and day have ensured that all the arrangements for the convocation are complete in spite of the challenges they have faced and continue to face. Without their support and attention to detail, I wouldn't be here this morning. This has been an eventful year in spite of the pandemic, or should I say because of it. 2021-22 has been momentous in many ways. We saw the establishment of 2 new research centers, the Center for Law and Agriculture, the Center for Investment Laws, thanks to a generous grant from the government of Tamil Nadu. 10 lakhs for each center to establish them, and 2 more research centers for business and human rights and Center for Cyber Laws in 2022. I thank our Pro-Chancellor, who unfortunately could not make it to the convocation today on account of a meeting and other commitments he has today this morning in Chennai. He has expressed his regret in not being able to present himself here. I thank him, Mr. S. Raghupati, Minister for Law, Courts, Prisons and Prevention of Corruption, Government of Tamil Nadu, through whose good offices the grants for the research centers have been made possible. I also thank the Law Department for processing and facilitating the proposals we have presented to them from time to time. During this year, we have done a number of things, and it is my duty to share briefly some of the activities we have conducted through this year. It will be a brief one, so don't be afraid. We conducted one international conference in collaboration with the Indian Association of Law and Economics, namely the 7th International Conference on Law and Economics online in November 2021, which saw the participation of scholars and practitioners from various parts of India and the world, and was an enriching experience. We had very eminent economists who were part of that conference. I have to thank Professor Ranita Nagar for this opportunity for TNNLU to host an event of this nature. And in yet another joint collaboration with the Gujarat National Law University, the UNCITRAL, and the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board, an international conference on micro, small, and medium enterprises, legislative and regulatory challenges, UNCITRAL and the Indian perspective, was conducted online in early 2022. The Legal Center for Women's Welfare, another research center which received funds from the government of Tamil Nadu way back in 2020, organized a national conference on interdisciplinary perspectives on women migrant workers and law in India in October 2021, while the Museum Committee, which also has received funding from the government of Tamil Nadu, under the able stewardship of Mr. Varun Arora, organized the first national conference of its kind on World Heritage Day, 18th April 2022, on laws and preservation of heritage in India, perceptions and challenges. In July 2022, we jointly organized a Southern Regional Conference of the Indian Association of Women's Studies on debating current policies of state, market and judiciary in South India and intersectional perspective. This being the 75th year of India's independence, TNNLU too participated in the celebrations, mostly online, by organizing many intra- and inter-university events in the form of webinars, special talks by eminent persons in their respective fields, competitions, discussions, music and dance programs, besides debates and quizzes, despite the university being closed for classes for most of this period. A big thank you to all my colleagues and my students for having organized these talks and webinars, as well as participating in them. Amongst the many events that we organized as part of this initiative were the 2 days national conference on 75 years of legal education in India, the experiments and experiences of the NLSIU model, and the way forward on 13th and 14th August 2022. For this, I have to thank Professor Upendra Bakshi, who delivered the keynote address, Professor Ranbir Singh, my former colleagues and students from NLSIU, faculty from other national law universities, and of course my colleagues from the Tamil Nadu National Law University. The India at 75 Experiences, Challenges and Reflection on Teaching Constitutional Law was organized on 18th and 19th August, involving faculty over 3 generations teaching constitutional law from different law teaching institutions to reflect upon what they have done, how things have changed, and what needs to be done. This was followed by the one-day national conference on tracing the idea of justice from the pre-independence period to the 75th year of India's independence. Once again, Professor Bakshi was very kind to accept my invitation to deliver the inaugural address. Dr. Usha Ramanathan, Professor Amita Danda, and Dr. Bikramjit Dey were very, very patient with the papers that were presented as they chaired the different sessions to hear the young scholars share their findings. We have conducted nearly 75 events in this, the 75th year of India's independence, and hope to have a grand ending to it through the valedictory planned for later this year. It has been a very colorful and eventful year, but we hope that the valedictory will overshadow all of this. We have conducted these programs reflecting on the past, celebrating those who have contributed to India's independence, especially the lesser-known persons, reflecting on the achievements made by the people of India over these 75 years in various fields, and even more importantly, reflecting on the advances made in the field of law during this period. We did this under the banner of Sutanthara Tirunal Amudha Peruvila. It is in this context that this auditorium has been named after the first woman judge of the Madras High Court as the Justice Padmini Jesudurai Auditorium. The former Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, the Honorable Justice Bandari, visited our campus for naming this auditorium and to interact with the students of TNNLU. On the same day, our Pro-Chancellor inaugurated the Legal History Museum and its new collections of coins, documents, and a few memorabilia of the Indian National Army. The students of TNNLU too have been continuously contributing to more feathers in the cap of TNNLU by participating in many national and international competitions and ending as winners or runners-up in many of them. To name a few of these achievements, they have been the winners of the 9th YONO SBI NLIU National Corporate Law Moot Competition, of the 17th KK Luthra Memorial Moot Court Competition, the 14th Pro Bono Enviro National Moot Court Competition, winners of the Alliance University's Justice N. Santosh Hegde National Moot Court Competition, winners of the overall moot court, as well as having got the Best Advocate Award in the 12th KR Ramamani Memorial National Taxation Moot Court Competition, winners of the RMNLU SCC Online International Media Law Moot Court Competition, winners of the Best Student Advocate and the Second Best Memorial Award at the 5th Surana and Surana Shastra IITM IP Law Moot Court Competition. They have been runners-up in the Deal Mediation Competition organized by NLU Jodhpur, runners-up of the 6th Symbiosis Law School Pune International Criminal Trial Advocacy Competition, runners-up of the NUJS Mediation Competition, and runners-up of the 2nd NLUO PHFI Public Health Law National Moot Court Competition. Besides this, TNNLU has entered into 3 Memoranda of Understanding. All 3 are with foreign institutions: the Waikato University, New Zealand, De Montfort University, the Dubai campus, and the Study World Group also in Dubai, in the hope that in the years to come, we will have student and faculty exchange, joint research, as well as through collaboration, organizing international conferences on different areas of specialization. Besides this, one of our students was the winner of the NLUO International Law and Policy Essay Competition 2021, while another was the first runner-up in the essay writing competition on law and technology organized by NLSIU and the Dialogue 2021. One other student won the Best Paper Award at the International Conference on IPR in the Digital Age hosted by IIT Roorkee in March 22. There are many other such publications by our students as well as faculty. Some of them have been in the context of actually being published as chapters in the books. In recognition of and in appreciation of the students' achievements and to support their activities and to facilitate the coordination of all the student-related activities, the Students' Activities Forum was inaugurated this year, under which there are 8 committees for co-curricular activities, 11 extracurricular clubs, and 4 which are required by the agencies or departments of the Government of India. Not that these clubs are newly created, they have been there. A couple of them, of course, are new, like the Heritage Club and the TNNLU Law Review in Tamil. But the others have been here from the inception of the university. It's just that they're now brought under one umbrella so that there will be coordination, no overlap, and there'll be easy facilitation of the conduct of these activities. Alongside this, the registration of the Alumni Association is underway. Hopefully, within the next 1 month, the TNNLU Alumni Association will be registered. As part of the Internship and Placement Committee's activities, 14 episodes of the Opportunities Ahead webinars were conducted. Speakers range from partners of leading law firms to judges, lawyers, and practitioners from other fields. In a first-time experience for TNNLU, 11 of the graduating batch of 22 were placed in one leading law firm, namely Trilegal. Apart from these 11, another 11 have been placed through the university in other firms and companies, while there are those who have chosen to join as lawyers, take up the judicial service exams, go for higher studies, academia, research, etc. 3 of the alumni have joined TNNLU as research assistants with 3 of the research centers of TNNLU. A 4th one who had been here with us as a research assistant in the Legal Center for History of South India has left in order to join Shastra University as our assistant professor of law. As I wind up this presentation of the annual report, I congratulate the 3 batches of the undergraduate and graduate programs who are graduating today. You've had the unique experience of studying 2 years online, just as millions of other young people. And that is sure to have had its impact on you in many ways. As you leave the portals of the university where you grew into adulthood and end one stage of your life and enter another phase of your relationship with this university as well as your own lives, I wish you all the very best and all success in every endeavor that you undertake. I can assure you of every support that this university can render as you journey through life. But I hope that you in turn will not forget the debt you owe your alma mater and to your fellow human beings within this country and outside. We're indeed privileged to have survived the pandemic and to have managed to complete your studies successfully. Let this not end here, but lead you to a lifetime of service and living to make a difference in this world. If there is nothing else that we have learned from this pandemic, then let it be this. We need each other, and the more we help each other along life's way, the richer our lives will be, and the more memorable will be our futures. Thank you. I now invite our Honorable Chancellor, the Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, Mr. Justice Raja, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Dr. Justice Muralidharan, Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, my esteemed brethren and sister judges who are all witnessing and taking part through online of this 4th convocation organized by Tamil Nadu National Law University. Mr. Sanmugha Sundaram, Learned Advocate General, Mr. Amal Raj, Chairman of the Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry Bar Council, Madam Rita Aristakar, Special Secretary to Government Finance Department, Mr. Karthikeyan, Law Secretary, Mr. Mani Shankar, Senior Advocate, and one of the members of the Executive Council, Mr. Satish Parasuran, Senior Advocate, one of the members of the Executive Council, Mr. Parandaman, member of Legislative Assembly from Egmore constituency, one of the members of the Executive Council, all the dignitaries, dear graduates, parents of the graduates, more importantly, the Vice Chancellor of this university, faculty members, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great historical and unforgettable event, not only to me, to all the graduates and the parents, to take part in this fourth convocation ceremony organized by Tamil Nadu National Law University, Tiruchi. You have become the graduates. Today, you have become advocates. You have become part of the noble profession. We heartily welcome all of you to become part of the noble profession. You are not only becoming part of the noble profession, but also going to become part of the system that is going to dispense with justice to all, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, sex, region. 2 decades ago, the students used to come to law college when they were denied admission in the popular subjects. But today, time has changed. The legal education has undergone tremendous change and underwent huge transformation. The result is today, like the students 20 years ago, 30 years ago, after acquiring pass in the +2 examination, cannot just like that get an admission in the law colleges or the university like this. I tell you a very interesting aspect. Legal education has undergone tremendous change. In IIT Kharagpur, where the famous Sundar Pichai, who was born in Madurai and today he has become CEO of the Google, who is just ruling the entire Google. He studied in the IIT Kharagpur, West Bengal. In the same IIT Kharagpur, a law faculty has been established. The very interesting aspect you must know is this. A person like you, namely a person after getting pass in the +2 examination, is not entitled to get admission in the law faculty in IIT Kharagpur. To become a law student, a person has to have B.Tech in engineering course. Similar pattern of legal education has also come to Delhi, in Delhi Law School. If you are only getting pass degree in the +2 examination, you may not be able to get admission in the law faculty in Delhi. There also you must get B.Tech degree in engineering. Yet another law faculty, law school has been opened up in Kanpur, UP. There also the admission criteria is very interesting and surprising. Person getting BA degree, BSc degree, BCom degree. If you don't get BTech degree in engineering, you may not be able to get admission in law course. Look at where you are standing, where the legal education is proceeding. Student coming out from these specialized law courses, they will be coming with a special knowledge on mediation. People coming out from the law schools like this, no doubt, would be coming out with a special knowledge on cyber law, patent law, space law, earth law. But if you compare a student coming out from this IIT Kharagpur law faculty, a student who is coming out from the Delhi University law campus with 2 degrees, law degree and BTech degree, and also the students who are going to come out from the Kanpur Law School in UP with 2 degrees, no doubt they will be giving a very tough competition. Therefore, today the time demands you are under tremendous pressure to equip in all subjects. A lawyer, by merely acquiring a degree like the one we are going to confer today, is not going to be sufficient to meet your client. Many people will be coming to you seeking your valuable advice. A lawyer, people used to say, has to know everything under sun and moon. Someone will be coming asking you under Muhammadan law. You need not be a person belonging to that religion. Another person will be coming to seek some valuable opinion on Hindu law. You need not be a Hindu. Third person will be coming to you seeking your valuable opinion on Christian law. You need not be a Christian, but you must be a multifaceted personality. Equip yourself. And I would tell you very interesting and very useful information to you that may be a impetus to you. You will have a great start today. In 2012, one of the great lawyers in our country, Sri Hari Salve, a senior lawyer, senior advocate, now he is practicing in Queen's Bench in London, Great Britain. And he is also available through online from UK. In 2012, the record shows that Mr. Hari Salve, senior counsel, when he was practicing in the Honorable Supreme Court of India, was adjudged as the highest tax-paying lawyer because he has paid 100 crores in the year 2012 as the professional tax to the Indian Exchequer in 2012. In 2012, a senior lawyer who belongs to your noble profession has been adjudged as the highest tax-paying lawyer. That 100 crores tax paid to the Indian Exchequer is still bigger than the annual income of Bollywood actor Amitabh Bachchan. You please understand that. Similarly, senior lawyers practicing in the Supreme Court, senior lawyers practicing in various high courts, even in our high court. Take the case of Mr. Satish Parasharan. His father was Attorney General of India. K.K. Venugopal, former Attorney General of India. Mr. Mukul Rohtagi, former Attorney General of India. Mr. Kobal Subramaniam, Senior Counsel, former Solicitor General of India. Mr. Arima Sundaram, Why do you go to all other places? Take your podium today. Mr. Satish Parasaran, Mr. Manish Sankar, the Advocate General, they're all the lawyers, senior counsels, coming in the same category, the highest tax-paying lawyers category. Today, I wish, I pray, I beseech God Almighty to bless all of you to become a similar legendary lawyer. Not only for you people to acquire more money, more income, once you become a senior lawyer, a reputed lawyer, you will also like Mr. Hari Salve, like Mr. K.K. Parasaran, K.K. Venugopal, Mr. K. Parasaran, Mr. Soli Surabji, Ramjit Malani, Mr. Arima Sundaram. You will also pay tax to the Indian exchequer. And I would also tell you one more very interesting aspect. Many people are thinking that courts are there only to get bail order. Courts are there only to get anticipatory bail order. People are believing, even including advocates, are thinking that courts are there only to issue the degree for declaration of your title in respect of the property on which cases have been fought. But the courts are not only for granting you bail order, anticipatory bail order, order of injunction, a degree declaring the disputed title. Beyond that, the courts are there to rewrite the destiny of every individual. I tell you today. If you have not seen today's newspaper, please go back after the ceremony is over and see today's Tamil newspaper, English newspaper, every newspaper. The Supreme Court has directed the government to release all the Rajiv Gandhi convicts. Trial court, high court, Supreme Court, all the courts, special court and then the Supreme Court have convicted them to undergo life imprisonment. Life imprisonment in the sense they have to stay permanently in the prison. But the Honorable Supreme Court, if we say today's newspaper, have rewritten the destiny of these life convicts. These people might have thought that their lives are over. But a lawyer like you have fought with the system and ultimately becoming successful lawyer, you were able to rewrite the destiny of the condemned convicts. Today they are all set free. So courts are not only there to grant bail order, anticipatory bail order, stay order, it is there to rewrite the destiny of the humankind. I would tell you one more interesting aspect. Many people will be coming to you saying that I belong to noble profession. Teachers, they are all claiming that I belong to noble profession. And they say the justification, the arguments advanced by them is this. Without teacher, a student, just a raw student, coming to school cannot become a responsible citizen. They say, the teachers, we only shape the personality of a student. Tomorrow, after cultivating his mind, he becomes a responsible leader of the nation. Today's student becoming a leader tomorrow, and that leader takes the nation in the right direction. We are responsible, and this is the argument of a teacher. Again, therefore they say, we belong to the noblest profession. Consider the teachers are to be kept on top of the noble profession. Without teacher, we cannot make a scientist. Without teacher, we cannot make doctor. Without teacher, we cannot make a lawyer. Without teacher, we cannot make judges. This is the argument of a teacher, to make themselves in the noble profession list. Consider the argument and the justification of the doctors. Doctors, for their part, they claim that tomorrow if a teacher falls ill and if he is infected with any fatal disease like COVID, we have seen during this COVID pandemic period, once a person is tested positive, he is almost neglected from the family. We very politely and kindly, lovably, we will say, please go and take shelter in the hospital. The doctor will be there to take care of. None will be there in the family to serve you food. None will be there in the family to serve you water, coffee, and other eatables. They would advise you to go and undergo the 14 days or the 7 days or 10 days aloofness. But the doctors, wearing a simple mask, simple cover all over the body, we entertain the person tested with the positive, we touch them, we examine the disease. Every day we are prescribing medicine, we are giving medicine along with the nurses. At the risk of life, at the risk of our family life, at the risk of the very valuable family, we just go forward, meeting, challenging, encountering this great problem. And ultimately, after healing the disease, curing the patients from the deadly disease, we heal them, we send them back to family, and being the breadwinner of the family, he leads the family back. If the breadwinner dies in the hospital without any assistance rendered by the doctors, what will happen? The entire family would become orphan. This is the justification. Therefore, they say, doctors, we stand in the noble profession as a first rank holder. Therefore, make the medicine as the first one, in the first place in the noble profession. Engineers would come and say, look at the light, look at the microphone. By using one microphone, you are addressing thousands and thousands of people. We have discovered car, we have discovered bullet train, we have discovered aircraft. From aircraft, from aeroplane, we have been traveling all over the world. And beyond that, look at the smartphone. In a single smartphone, everything is available. Radio is available, internet is available, Wi-Fi is available, and you can do any magic through the smartphone, cell phone. This is our discussion, this is our discovery, this is our invention. Without this, you may not be able to lead any pleasant life. If the scientists are not there, you will be using only what you call the bullock cart. The bullock cart will be running with only 6 km speed per hour. You want only the bullock cart era or the modern era. If the modern era, scientific era, technological era, which is going to make the people's life more comfort, more pleasant, more convenient, scientists should be recognized in the noble profession. Therefore, please place the scientist above the doctors, because we invent the robot, we invent the surgical instrument without which a doctor may not be able to undertake any operation and save the patient. This is the argument of scientists. Lawyer, as a last person, comes and he says, lawyer's profession is a noble profession, but we stand not only about the doctor, not only about the scientist, not only about the teacher, we have to be placed on top of the list, noble profession. Look at the justification they are placing. Teacher, doctor, before doing any dangerous, risky operation, he would visit the nearest temple. A teacher, every day, morning and evening, will be visiting the temple, seeking some boons to take care of the family. As I mentioned to you, doctors also visiting the nearest hospital, nearest temple, undergoing a strict fast to become a successful doctor, to make a operation successful. A scientist also will be visiting a nearby temple to become a successful in his life, to make some very innovative discovery, invention. But look at the lawyer. Temple will not go to doctor. Temple will not go to teacher. Temple will not go to scientist. Temple will be always going to lawyer's chamber, lawyer's office. You know why? The temple will be going with outcry saying, my property, the temple's property, given away by way of lease to one lessee, has not returned the lease amount. The temple property has been misused. It is meant for only holy purpose, good purpose, but it has been used for the bad purpose. Therefore, please go to the court and redeem the property belonging to the temple. First reason. The second reason, the temple property taken away from the temple by way of lease has not been recovered. No rent is paid to the temple. As a result, the temple is not able to buy oil, to lit oil lamp inside the shrine and sanctorium of the temple. The result is the shrine is closed, temple is closed. Not only that, we are unable to get the revenue, the lease amount from the lessees who are making huge profits out of the temple land, temple shops and temple properties. As a result, we are not able to pay the monthly salary to the priest. As a result, the priest is not even visiting the temple. And when the priest is not coming to temple to maintain the temple has to be closed down. Lawyer comes and argues the matter. And he says that A is a lessee, taken the lease amount, taken the property belonging to the temple on 10-year lease, has not even paid a single pay. The court, after examining the pros and cons, if the court finds that the lessee has committed default, directs the lessee to give back the property. Otherwise, the court takes the property with the assistance of the lawyer. Property belonging to the temple is restored back to the temple. Temple comes back with light. Temple comes back with a priest. And then the devotees are going. Doctors will be coming to the temple to make a prayer. Teachers will be coming to the temple. Scientists will be coming to the temple. But in the case of lawyer, temple will be coming to the lawyer's chamber. Not only that, like father missing, mother missing, daughter missing, today a peculiar circumstance come, idol missing, God is missing from the temple. Ganesha idol is missing, Murugan idol is missing, Lord Shiva idol is missing, Lord Nadaraja idol is also missing. Goddess Parvati's idol is missing, but it is kept in Canada. It is kept in UK. And we have seen that this is the photograph, this is the videograph. So what do we do? This temple in Kumbakonam, this temple in Tiruchi has been closed down because there is no idol. Nobody is coming for worshipping the idol because there is no idol over there. The lawyer takes up a petition, goes to the court. Court order for an inquiry. The man goes to UK in search of the idol, in search of the God. After inquiry, after completion of the investigation, idol is brought back to the temple. Temple is open. God is brought back. Today, only the lawyer will be able to trace out the God, trace out the temple, trace out the idol, and therefore, when the God is coming to us, when the lawyers are able to discover the missing God, you can imagine who belongs to the noble profession. So therefore, I would tell you, you being graduates of this great national law university, be proud of a lawyer. Be proud of part of this, the great profession. Only you, a lawyer, alone can save the society from getting it rotten. Only you can keep the house in order. As a lawyer, only you can keep the nation in order. You can advise the leaders. You can advise the scientists. You can advise everyone under the sun and moon. I would say only one thing. The father of US Constitution, James Madison, he mentioned very interesting aspect. He said, if a government is run by an angel, there is no need, necessity, or requirement to make any mechanism like police station. There is no need or necessity for the setting up of police station, court, or revenue department. The reason is very simple. If the government is run by an angel, or if the government is run by angels. In the alternative, he has also told very interesting aspect. If the people are living like angels, again he said, there is no need or necessity or requirement to set up police station, to set up court halls, to set up a revenue department, except setting up of the public school and the public hospitals where people can come and study in the schools and colleges. And in case if a person falls ill, they can go to the public hospital to get the treatment. Look at the interesting aspect the father of US Constitution has mentioned. For a government to go fairly, angel is required. Doesn't matter if the government is not run by the angels. If the people are living like an angel, look at the expectation. The angel will be always fair, very reasonable, always guides the people, will not fight for any frivolous, unwanted issue. Therefore, today, I beseech Lord Almighty to bless you to become angels. Either you are advocate angels or angel like the judges angels. Once you become a lawyer angel, you will be fair, you will be reasonable, and you will not misguide the court, you will not misguide the other party. The result will be everywhere you will be able to see fairness, peace, tranquility. That is the motto of the Tamil Nadu National Law University. Once you fulfill and once you come up to the expectation, the convocation ceremony which is being held today would reach its logical end. Thank you very much for the opportunity given.
Honorable Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to declare the convocation open.
is the fourth convocation of the Tamil Nadu National Law University, has been called to confer the degrees upon the candidates who, in the examinations held for the purpose, have been certified to be worthy of the same. I now declare the convocation open. Sir, I have the honor to request you to deliver the convocation address.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். The Honorable Chancellor, Justice T. Raja, the Acting Chief Justice of the Madras High Court, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Elizabeth, Sri Shanmugasundaram, Advocate General, Tamil Nadu, Sri Manishankar, Sri Satish Parasharan, Senior Advocate, Member of the Executive Committee, Sri Parandaman, Member of the Legislative Assembly, Sri Karthikeyan, Secretary, Legal Affairs, Government of Tamil Nadu, Sri Amal Raj, Chairman, Bar Council of Tamil Nadu. A very warm good afternoon to everyone, all those present here as well as those participating online. First of all, congratulations to the 2022 batch of law graduates passing out from the Tamil Nadu National Law University. This is no mean achievement. All of us owe a debt of gratitude to everyone who helped you reach this stage. A big thank you to your teachers, your parents, your friends and relatives, and your well-wishers. In fact, among the proud parents is Justice Ajit Kumar from the Kerala High Court, who's present here with us. Each of you is at the threshold of the next phase of your life. Some of you have made choices in the past few months about what you wish to do. Some of you are yet to decide. Even those who have made choices are perhaps uncertain about what the future holds for them. While what you choose is important, how you choose is equally important. Many of us have already been through the phase that each of you is passing through today. We have made choices, unmade them, and then made fresh choices. A few of us were left with no choice on account of the prevailing circumstances. While a few of us were fortunate to have chosen correctly, even to begin with, many of us have had to learn from the errors of our choice and have to give up what we thought we would like to pursue. For some of us, it took a good 6 to 7 years, and for some even longer, to realize what we cannot or should not be doing, even while not being sure of what one must be doing. That is not necessarily a bad place or a stage to be in. Life has its vicissitudes and uncertainties. How well you are able to cope with the changes helps shape your personality. It is a journey of discovery and testing your inner strengths and, most importantly, values. How much has the 5-year stint in this law school helped shape your values? That is the question we need to ask. It is useful to remember that there are many things that have not been taught at the law school but learned, and there are things which have been taught but not yet learned. First, let us look at what you may not have been taught but have learned being in this law school. The place where you've been studying, Tiruchi, is steeped in history, art, and Tamil culture. Not far from here is a place called Urayur, presently in the heart of the city of Tiruchirappalli, which was once the capital of the Cholas, about whom there is currently an increased curiosity. They were a great maritime power and extended their realm across the seas into modern-day Malaysia, Indonesia, and even the northern part of Sri Lanka. Their rule flourished initially between the 3rd and 2nd centuries before Christian era, BCE, to the 2nd century Christian era, and later between the 9th and 10th centuries Common Era. They had a centralized governing structure and a bureaucracy. Apart from the awe-inspiring monuments that you find around this place, be it the Periyakovil, the big temple in Tanjavur, or the Kallanai, the earliest stone masonry dam said to have been constructed in the 2nd century before Common Era, during the reign of Karikala Cholan, they were great patrons of art, including music, theatre, dance, and painting. The Saraswati Mahal Library, again not far from here in Tanjavur, is a treasure trove of historical manuscripts and documents, which would include documents of interest to the legal historian. Sri Rangam, as the name indicates, is an island created by the Kaveri and its distributary Kollidam, and is home to the famous temple dedicated to Lord Ranganatha. It is home to the Vaishnavite saint Ramanuja, who believed in taking religion to the masses. The temple is in itself an architectural marvel. I presume that the 5 years in the Tamil Nadu National Law University at Srirangam would have helped you absorb the history of the place, the history of the people in whose midst the law school is situated. This immersive experience is essential for a holistic development. Tiruchi is home to a syncretic secular culture too. Vedanayagam Pillai, the famous poet and music composer, was born in 1826 as a Christian in Inamkulattur, not far from here. Early in life, he was taught Tamil and English, and after schooling joined the Tiruchi district court as a record keeper. He then taught himself Sanskrit, French, and Latin, and qualified in the law exams. He was appointed as district munsif in Mayavaram, now which is called Mayiladurai, and served in that capacity for 13 years. He brought out a book of ethics called Needi Nool, containing several hundreds of Tamil couplets and verses. He translated law books into Tamil. Vedanayagam Pillai was a highly regarded expert on Tirukural, authored by Tiruvalluvar. Kural contains 1330 couplets of 7 words each on 3 broad topics. Aram, virtue, an expression you're familiar with, it's on your logo of the Tamil Nadu National Law University. Aram, Porul, wealth, and Inbam, love. Famously, on justice, Kural has this couplet which states, Tahadi enavondru nandre pahadiyal parpattu olugaperen, which translates as, giving each division of men what is due is the highest form of virtue or justice. Again, couplet 119 says, Sorkottam illadu seppam orudalaya utkottam inmai perir, which could translate as an utterance, which could also mean a judgment, can be said to be free from error of words only when it is spoken with a mind without bias. Vedanayagam Pillai's rich repertoire of literary works inspired another famous personality, Ramananga Adigalar or Valalar, another renowned poet, philosopher, and spiritual figure of the mid-19th century, whose lifelong mission was to rid society of caste biases. Here I seek to quote a phrase from one of his songs in the compendium works known as Tiruvaruppa, which reads thus, Sadi, Acharamam, Acharam, Samayam, Madacharam ena, Sandayitta Kalagavalukku Veluthudu, Palavam, Poinul, Katravartam, Manam Veluthu, Vai Veluthu, Vayura Vaditta, Murakku Veluthudu. Here the poet is saying, and I'm translating, the partisan quarrels and discords arising from castes, ashramas, sects, and dogmas are ceasing to be. Those who have long pored over many a false treatise have lost their faith, their speech, and vocal power of noisy debate. In the later part of his relatively short 50-year life, Valalar, an iconoclast who worshipped the Supreme in the form of light, formed the Samarasa Suddha Sanmarga Satya Sangam, an organization that believed in pursuit of pure knowledge through love, charity, and spiritual activity. If, as the crow flies, you traveled east from here, you would reach Tanjavur, and further east would come Tiruvarur, the birthplace of three of the renowned composers of Carnatic classical music, Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar, and Shama Sastri. Further east, abutting the coast, lies the district of Nagapattinam. There, even today, the Tamil people, irrespective of the religion, perform a pilgrimage to three holy shrines: a temple dedicated to Lord Muruga in Shikkal, the 16th century Nagur Dargah, dedicated to the Sufi saint Syed Shaul Hamid, and the Velankani Basilica of the Roman Catholic Order, dedicated to Our Lady of Health. The TNNLU students are indeed fortunate to have around them these influences which could shape their values to lead life with a secular outlook, which is the essence of Tamil ethos and tradition. Let us now examine what you have been taught but may not have fully imbibed. Every batch of the TNNLU student which has come through the Common Law Admission Test, CLAT, from different cities, different backgrounds, different classes, castes, and religions, come with their own predilections, shaped by their upbringing and family circumstances. This enriches the diversity of student life and introduces new learning with a broader and more liberal outlook. Law school perhaps has taught you about the importance of inclusivity and plurality of lived Indian life, of being able to coexist in the same place with persons whose point of view you do not agree with, persons whose choices you do not appreciate, persons whose outlook in life you do not share. Law school has perhaps taught you to be civil in your disagreements, to be decent in your debates, to be informed in your perspectives. Law school has perhaps helped you grow as an individual, to accept who you are as much as you learn to accept the other person for what the other person is. To look beyond appearances, to value a person for not how the person looks or what the person wears or where the person is from, but who the person really is. To not resent a person for the caste or community they belong to, for what they eat, for what they choose to dress in, or their sexual preferences and orientation. You may have made new friends and maybe a few foes too. And yet, law school has perhaps taught you that these friendships and relationships may be transitory. Friends need not remain friends, just as foes are not forever. This is the process of growing up, of accepting oneself in the midst of people who are different from oneself, and yet understanding the strength of unity and the problems of disunity. The law school should have taught you the importance of constitutional values, two of which mattered most to Dr. Ambedkar, the moving force behind the Indian Constitution. And those two are, one, fraternity, and the other, dignity. On fraternity, Dr. Ambedkar says, and I quote, "Fraternity means a sense of common brotherhood of all Indians, of Indians being one people. It is the principle which gives unity and solidarity to social life," unquote. He also said, and I quote, "Without fraternity, liberty would produce the supremacy of the few over the many. Equality without liberty would kill individual initiative. Without fraternity, liberty and equality could not become a natural course of things. It would require a constable to enforce them," unquote. Dr. Ambedkar placed the second constitutional value, dignity of the individual, at the intersection of the rights and lived life in Indian society. While acknowledging that democracy in India is only a top dressing on Indian soil, which is essentially undemocratic, Dr. Ambedkar recognized the importance of recognizing and respecting individual dignity. Not only was this foregrounded in the preamble to the Indian Constitution, but it formed the heart and soul of Article 17, which declares untouchability to be an offense, and Article 23, which makes exploitation of labor and human trafficking to be an offense. It also forms the basis of Article 15, which enshrines the concept of horizontality of rights, an essential facet of Chapter 3 of the Indian Constitution on Fundamental Rights. These provisions of the Indian Constitution emphasize human flourishing, which respects both individual and community rights while not discriminating against fellow beings. Dr. Ambedkar was a visionary. He foresaw that if social democracy is to become a reality, those entrusted with the power of governance have to imbibe what he called constitutional values, and this is what he meant by constitutional morality. The expectation was that these constitutional values would be imbibed at a personal level by those entrusted with governance. And here I would like to quote him. While everybody recognizes the necessity of the diffusion of constitutional morality for the peaceful working of a democratic constitution, there are two things interconnected with it which are not, unfortunately, generally recognized. One is that the form of administration has a close connection with the form of the constitution. The form of the administration must be appropriate to and in the same sense as the form of the constitution. The other is that it is perfectly possible to pervert the constitution without changing its form, merely by changing the form of administration and to make it inconsistent and opposed to the spirit of the constitution. It follows that it is only where people are saturated with constitutional morality, such as the one described by Grote, the historian, that one can take the risk of omitting from the constitution details of administration and leaving it for the legislature to prescribe them. The question is, Dr. Ambedkar asks, the question is, can we presume such a diffusion of constitutional morality? Constitutional morality is not a natural sentiment, it has to be cultivated. How far have we been able to eradicate the malaise of untouchability, the vice of discrimination, the degeneracy of treating people with indignity, and the moral depravity of exploitation of the weak for their labor? This will tell us how far we have really progressed on the road to freedom as envisioned by the makers of the Indian Constitution. As a law student, how far have you been able to imbibe these constitutional values in your life is the question you need to ask yourself. I know it is a work in progress, not just for young students like you who have just passed out of law school, but for many of us who have lived amidst travails and tribulations. Every day is a challenge. It is a challenge to fight our inner demons and to imbibe constitutional values at a personal level. The searching question each of us has to ask of ourselves are, how far do we treat our friends, acquaintances, family members, those who work with us, with dignity, equality, and without discrimination? Are we better as individuals having passed through law school? How far have we accepted the constitutional values as the governing principles of our daily life? Even more than a graduate from any law college or any college or university, I would think that the law graduate has an additional responsibility in walking the talk. If you are able to have differences with others resolved in a civil manner, through discussion and debate, without resorting to violence, then you would have taken a significant step towards progress. If, as a law person, you are able to realize the potential of law to bring about positive change, to persuade others to address problems within the constitutional framework of rights, then you would have made an important contribution to their growth as individuals. If you are able to respect difference and dissent as acceptable conditions of democratic life and are able to respect the freedom of others' choices while accepting responsibility for your own choices, then you have progressed towards maturing as a responsible adult. Then these 5 years of life in a national law school would not have been wasted. I now turn to your career choices and what to expect having made those choices. Some of you may join a law firm, a corporate law firm, or a lawyer's office as a junior colleague. Others may be preparing for a career in the judiciary. Some of you may want to pursue post-graduation here or abroad and then move on to academics. Some may opt for a different track altogether, like joining the civil, police, or foreign service. The choice these days are much greater and more varied than what was on offer even 2 decades ago. Whatever the choice, the expectation is that a student passing out from a national law school will carry into the workplace the value system, and in particular, the constitutional values that one has imbibed while at law school. In whatever you may choose to do, you may have to tackle issues of ethics, of conflicts of interest, of dilemmas about the right thing to do. Many years ago, while delivering a talk on ethics, I had asked a class of fifth-year law students to list out the qualities that they would like to see in a judge. The answers included impartiality, fairness, compassion, integrity, honesty, soundness of the knowledge of law. When the question turned to qualities that they would like to see in a lawyer, they named another set of values, among which the ones prominently absent were integrity and honesty. Certainly, they did not subscribe to the advice that was given to the autistic lawyer Woo Young-woo in the eponymous popular Korean serial by the client of the opposing lawyer, and this is what he tells her. Do you want to be a competent lawyer who only wins in court? Or do you want to be an honorable attorney who reveals the truth? Apparently, this batch of law students did not find it ironical that we expect to find among the very same lawyers judges of honesty and integrity. Passing out from a law school does not bring an end to competition, which, if it not constructive, can bring with it a baggage of undesirable consequences. In his book, The Tyranny of Merit, What's Become of the Common Good, Professor Michael Sandel reminds us that the entire process of admission to a law school, the testing of one's abilities while in the law school, which includes grades, performance evaluations, projects, seminars, moots, competitions, internships, everything that you're all familiar with by now, and the career options available at the end of the course are all premised on a certain kind of ability which values a certain skill set, which does not and cannot encompass all that an individual is capable of or can offer. Further, a law graduate need not be fully socially integrated, having lived a seemingly rarefied zone of privilege. Professor Sandel presciently observes that, and I quote here, higher education in the age of meritocracy has not been an engine of social mobility. It has reinforced the advantages that privileged parents confer on their children, unquote. Also, the prevalent model of law schools, which is mindlessly being replicated in abundance, tends to produce the same type of student and the same type of expectations. Professor Margaret Thornton observes, and I quote her, universities, like other players in the global marketplace, must have a product packaged under a brand name that is going to be attractive to consumers. If not, the consumers will exercise the prerogative of the market choice and go elsewhere. Nevertheless, rather than focus on a distinctive product, competition policy encourages provision of the same product. To expect comparisons within competitors, the same criteria need to be invoked, unquote. Professor William Twining calls it the football league syndrome, in which American law schools tend to behave, and I'm quoting him, as if they are playing exactly the same game in a single hierarchically organized league. Thus, there is already a propensity towards homogeneity in legal education, which is exacerbated by subjecting legal education itself to the vagaries of the market. The harsh reality of lived life is that success and failure in the classroom do not necessarily translate into corresponding results in life. A class topper need not be an achiever or influencer in the professional career, and vice versa. What you make of your life hereafter is in your hands. Some of you may want to adopt the principle of carpe diem, or seize the moment, while others may want to adopt the Japanese philosophy of kaizen and stay focused on continuous improvement a little at a time. What is avoidable is succumbing to peer pressure, accentuated by social media, getting entrapped in what psychologists have diagnosed as a hidden epidemic of perfectionism. It is seen to exact a heavy toll on the sense of self-worth and esteem. Says Professor Sandel, and I quote him, years of anxious striving leave young people with a fragile sense of self-worth, contingent on achievement, and vulnerable to the exacting judgments of parents, teachers, admissions committees, and ultimately themselves. You must be aware of the privilege of passing out from a national law school, which already places you several notches above your contemporary passing out from a non-national law school. You may want to ask yourself, how can I use that advantage to improve the lives of others without developing hubris? How can I develop mindfulness as a tenet, both at a personal as well as a professional level? The world out there is harsh, competitive, but don't let cynicism govern your responses to the imperfections of the system and those working it. Your strength and courage will be tested when you decide not to compromise on your value systems and, most importantly, in your pursuit of individual truth. Rudyard Kipling, the famous poet, had identified in his poem If two impostors, triumph and disaster. I would venture to add a few more: excellence, failure, disappointment, success, achiever, loser, influencer, underachiever. These are all subjective notions and products of imperfect value judgment. Do not let them rule or ruin your life. In an interview in 2013, Noam Chomsky was asked what he found different about India. His answer was, and I quote him, "I have followed India carefully and have been there a number of times. It is an exciting country in many ways with its rich culture. But what is really striking to me about India, much more than most other countries I have been to, is the indifference of the privileged sectors to the misery of others. This country will be served well if each of you as a law graduate is able to contribute to making our constitution work for our people by preserving and enforcing the constitutional guarantees of liberty, equality, and fraternity." Judge Learned Hand reminded us that, and I quote him, "Liberty lies in the hearts of men and women. When it dies there, no constitution, no law, no court can save it. No constitution, no law, no court can even do much to help it. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which is not too sure that it is right. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which seeks to understand the minds of other men and women. The spirit of liberty is the spirit which weighs their interests along its own without bias." The degree in your hands is like a license that tells others that you're qualified to improve the lives of others. It is like having a license to drive a car. How well you drive the car, what routes you choose to drive it on, and where you want to go with it is literally in your hands. A sensible driver will anticipate roadblocks, diversions, potholes and craters, bad weather, mechanical failures, and importantly, bad drivers. A driver who's aware will maintain calm and composure through it all and stay on track. Driving safe is as important a goal as reaching the destination. That is what you now set out to do, and I hope you do it well. Thank you for your patient listening. Jai Hind.
Let the candidates be now presented.
Honorable Chancellor, I present unto you these candidates for the LLM, BA LLB Honours and BCom LLB Honours degrees who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degrees and to be awarded the prizes and medals. Honorable Chancellor, I present unto you these graduates for the LLM who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degree. Honorable Chancellor, under the laws of the university, I present to you the 6 graduates in person and 7 other graduates in absentia who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified and to receive the LLM degree. Ashwin Bala Someshwarar, BE. Please come forward. Ms. Divya Preeti S. Mr. Ramachandran M. Mr. Sachin Raj R. Ms. Sumi Sara Rajan. Ms. Sri Lekha. Sir, the candidates for the LLM degree receiving the degree in absentia are Ms. Akarshana S., Ms. Harshita Yadav, Ms. Tanishq Toor, Mr. Ravi Shankar A., and Ms. Madhurima Menon.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as a Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu National Law University, Tiruchirappalli, I admit you to the degree of Masters of Law, for which you have been declared qualified in this university, and in token thereof, you have been presented with the degree.
Honorable Chancellor, I present unto you these graduates for the BA LLB honors who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the degree. Under the laws of the university, I present to you the graduates in person and other graduates in absentia, 35 in person, 15 in absentia, who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the BA LLB honors degree. Ms. Aditya Goyal. Oh, sorry. Ms. Aditi Srivastav. Don't be silly. Ms. Aishwarya Raj Mishra. Please ask them to finish. Mr. Amandeep Sharan. Ms. Ananya Singh. Ms. Anusuya Nair. Ms. Anushka. Mr. Anuraj Goyal. Ms. Anuratna. Ms. Bija Harini, Ms. Chintaluri Venkatashreya, Mr. S. Deepak, Ms. Deepna Aishwarya, Ms. Gayatri K, Mr. Gokul, Ms. Guna, Ms. Harshita Negi, Ms. Isaini B, Mr. Kashi Raja, Mr. Krishnan Anantashiva Dhananjay, Ms. Nafia KP, Ms. Payaswini Rai, Ms. Rakshana N, Ms. Reshma Devi, Mr. Rishi AK, Ms. Sahana Priya Satish, Ms. Shraddha Pandey, Ms. Tamasa TT, Ms. Vanati, Mr. Vijay Satya, Mr. Vishal K, Mr. Walter Silish, Mr. Sethu Bhaskaran, Mr. Mohammad Mubin, Mr. Mohammad Farwaz, I present to you the candidates receiving the degree in absentia. There is one more person. Oh, Mr. Mukundan R. Sorry. Sir, I present unto you candidates receiving the degree in absentia, Ms. Aditi Goyal, Ms. Anushri, Ms. Aparajita Chakravarti, Mr. Ashfaq Mohammed, Ms. Indu Mugi, Mr. Jay Ganesh B, Ms. Parvati AL, Ms. Preetham Pradhan, Ms. Saloni Borse, Ms. Saumya, Mr. Ushnish Rai, Ms. Himanshi Garewal, Ms. Divya D, Ms. Dakshata, Mr. Pranav Sri Ram. You have to read it also.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as a Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu National Law University, Tiruchirappalli, I admit you to the degree of BA LLB Honours, for which you have been declared qualified in this university, and in token thereof, you have been presented with the degree.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Chancellor, I present unto you these graduates for the BCom LLB Honours degree, 48 in person, 5 in absentia, who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified to receive the BCom LLB Honours degree. Mr. Adit S. Mr. Abhijit Kashyap. Ms. Aishwarya V. Mr. Ajay Shankar. Mr. Akash N.S. Mr. Amaravel Pandian. Ms. Anuja Khandelwal. Ms. Aparna Venkataraman. Mr. Basil Shibu. Ms. Dhruti Lankar. Ms. Divya. Ms. Isiri SD. Mr. Julius Mera Smith. Mr. Kalash Bakliwal. Ms. Kaushika. Ms. Labani Haldar. Mr. Maharana Pratap Singh V. Mr. Manikanta Prabhu. Mr. Mohammad Elias. Mr. Naveed Ahmad. Ms. Nayan Tara. Ms. Neema Neerakal. Mr. S. Neelavan. Ms. Nisha Tyagi. Mr. Nansavat Jayadatta Sai. Ms. Pranjal Tiwari. Ms. Raghavi R. Ms. Shakti Sighana. Mr. R. Sanjay. Ms. Sandhya K.S. Mr. Shekhar Kumar Sahu. Ms. Shweta Lakshmi R. Mr. S. Shivakumar. Ms. Smruti R. Ms. Tarusha S. Mr. G. Tirtha Narayanan. Mr. A. N. Vijit. Ms. Yashwantika S. Mr. Alan Francis. Mr. A.R. Amal, Mr. S.T.R. Ajay Sharma, Ms. Yalini Yu, oh sorry, Ms. Mathura V.S., I'm sorry. Ms. Yalini Yu, Mr. Arvind S., Mr. R. Shivanehalan, Mr. Kirti Nason, Ms. Aarti T., Mr. Rajesh A., Sir, I present to you the candidates receiving the degree in absentia. Diliban V, Lashwant S, Neelanjan Kole, Ujjwal Jain, Arvindam M.
By virtue of the authority vested in me as Chancellor of the Tamil Nadu National Law University, I admit you to the degree of BCom LLB Honours, for which you have been declared qualified in this university, and in token thereof, you have been presented with the degree.
Honorable Chancellor and our Honorable Chief Guest, I present unto you the graduates who have been certified after examination to be duly qualified, to be awarded the prizes and medals. The first rank in the BA LLB Honours Program goes to Ms. Shraddha Pandey. She is also awarded the Woman Topper of the 2022 batch of the BA LLB Honours and the BCom LLB Honours degree. And she's also secured the Professor K. Govindrajan Endowment Award for the Civil Procedure Code course. Hey, hey, Shraddha, you don't want your medals? Take off your cap. The university second rank gold medal for the BA LLB honors program goes to Ms. Rakshana N, who has also secured the Karur Vaishya Bank Endowment Award in Banking Law jointly. The university gold medal for the third rank of the BA LLB honors program goes to Ms. Harshita Negi. The university gold medal for first rank in the BCom LLB honors, as well as the Professor N. Manohar Memorial Award for International Law, jointly won by Mr. S. Shivakumar. Mr. Manikanta Prabhu is awarded the University Gold Medal for the second rank in BCom LLB honors. The Senior Advocate, Mr. C.K. Rajan Endowment Award for Constitutional Law, and the Professor N. Manohar Memorial Award jointly for International Law. The University Gold Medal for third rank in BCom LLB honors goes to Ms. Tarusha S. The University Medal for the Karur Vaishya Bank Endowment Award for Banking Law, jointly won by Ms. Raghavi R. So you can see. Ms. Tanish Toor of the LLM program secures the first rank in the LLM program, but she is not present here today. I request all the graduates to kindly rise for taking the pledge.
Should I sit or stand? Stand. We shall, in thought, word and deed,
Kindly repeat after the Chancellor.
I will once again say, please repeat. We shall, in thought, word and deed, ever endeavor to be scrupulously honest in the discharge of our profession, and shall uphold the dignity and integrity of our profession and the honor of our university. We shall uphold and advance social order and well-being of our fellow members, and shall also devote all our energy to promote the unity, integrity, and secular ideals of our Constitution. I dissolve this convocation.
Check. Good afternoon, everyone. For the guests and special invitees, the lunch is arranged at the multipurpose hall at the ground floor. You may kindly leave there. Our students will be there to guide you. For the graduates and parents, the lunch is arranged at multipurpose hall, floor number 1. You can kindly leave there for your lunch. For the students of the university, the same lunch will be served in your hostels. Kindly leave to your hostels. Have a good lunch. Thank you.
I request all the graduates to kindly gather here on the stage for a photograph with all the guests that we have today, including the Chancellor, our chief guest, and the members of our governing bodies. Please quickly gather here. The sooner you gather, the sooner you can go for lunch. Quickly come onto the stage. Please stand behind the dignitaries who are on the stage. Just the graduates. You can meet your family members afterwards. You have the entire afternoon, evening, and night, and the rest of your life. But you're not going to have this moment forever. So kindly come up.